Faithfulness.
Anyways, so let's
I've lived there.
let's move on. And before we start as well,
Faithfulness.
this is my dad as well.
And this is my Zoe.
And my
daughter.
Zoe, my daughter. And this is Steve. So yeah, let's get going. So we're going to talk about how
Faithfulness.
you moved to Pembrokeshire, but before that, you graduated from studying, and God called you to a place where it was very beautiful and luxury.
Yeah, but just backtracking a bit, at college I had an opportunity to go to a church placement when you're getting trained, and there's this place in England, and I knew a little bit about it because I'd been a visitor once, and the pastor of the church at the time said they had that much money they didn't know what to do with. And I thought, God, that's just shocking, because if you've got that much money you don't know what to do with, it's easy, isn't it? Give the money away. Give it to someone who knows what to do with the money. There's so many like a worthwhile charities you could give that money to, and then start again. So if you ever got too much money, that simple answer is give some away, isn't it? There's someone who knows what to do with money, and obviously, you can invest it properly then. And so I didn't want to go to that church, but there was another church in the East End of London, and I'd been there too. And I thought, well, that seems a much better experience to go somewhere where there's tremendous need, tremendous opportunity, and they're really hungry for what God wants to do. So I didn't go to the rich church, which had too much. I went to the church where you could really, use your talents in the right way. And then when I left college, there was this other church, which was an amazing church in England, and it had its own house, it had its own like vicarage manse. I would have been like the assistant pastor of the church, because it was a big church, 3 locations, thriving, doing amazing things. And it was, at the time, it was the fastest growing town in England. It was absolutely incredible. Obviously, very excited about it. And obviously it's a bit of a process, because it's a big church, they don't just have anybody, but they wanted me, because obviously because they did. But and obviously you're very excited about it, really excited about a great opportunity. But near the time of actually when they finally, give you the offer, I just knew it wasn't the right place to go, even though everything about it was amazing and they were lovely people and a great church, but knew it wasn't right for me. And sadly declined. But when you've invested all of that, what do you do next? And so it's difficult.
Also, when you have invested in that, it's harder to say no as well.
It is.
Because you've developed those friendships, like you've almost committed that time, and then you're like, oh, sorry, it's not right. No,
not right. It's difficult, isn't it? You feel really sad. It's like bereavement, because you definitely feel it was right. You definitely feel you should be going, but then you don't, and it's hard, isn't it, to know what to do. And then you go through a process of what to do next. And then this other opportunity came to go to a church where it was only a few people, had no money, no house, everything was complete opposite, the flip to the other one. But the other side of the coin, it was that place where you can use your talent, you can use what God has given you in the most amazing way. It's not just going to be, oh, everything's good and comfortable. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be more exciting in a different way, because you're going to have to do a lot of hard work to see what God wants to happen.
Yeah, and I definitely think in ministry as well, it is hard work, and it is hard, but also not having that like house and that security. There was definitely times when we would pray and God would provide financially, like in a really unexpected way. Like I remember, do you want to talk about the Christmas Eve check that we had?
So one Christmas Eve, like you do when you're leading a good church, you have a Christmas Eve service at midnight. You come back home, and on the mat there's a check for £2,500, and you think, well, that's just crazy. Because like, who gives you a check for £2,500?
I leave it on the doormat.
And leaves it on the doormat. And also it was a long time ago, so that'd be worth even more now. And there was a couple in the church who I definitely thought it must be, and also they weren't at the service at midnight, because you have midnight mass, midnight communion, and everybody are there, aren't they, in your church, apart from this couple who did have some money. So I thought it was them. So I said to them, "Oh, did you leave a check?" Because it was a bank check that didn't have a name on it. And they said, "No, it wasn't us," and it genuinely wasn't them. And I was puzzled then, but God provided, and it happened the next year as well. Which obviously it's amazing that it happened again. But God knows your need when you have a need. But
Yeah, when you have a need.
when you have a need.
I
But
think that, going back to having a need, I think we do have, I think we can often like, pray about it, and actually we do have the resources to just go out and do it and trust God.
And also I think with the story is that often we don't have a need. Everything is provided, like people do in ministry. Things are good. They might want more, and everybody wants more, and I understand that, because it's a natural thing, isn't it? And in comparison is a very dangerous thing, because we can compare ourselves with the Joneses and think, well, I wish I had what they've got. They've had 2 holidays, I've only had 1. They've had a foreign holiday, but I've only holidayed in the UK. We can feel like by comparison, our life's not as good as someone else. So comparison is a very dangerous thing, and I think we've got to really guard our hearts against comparing ourselves to others. And when you think about it, we live, in comparable riches to the majority of the world, where having clean water, having food, having shelter is not given, and people are suffering. There's over 100,000 Christians being persecuted today, compared to any other time in history. So whatever we've got plenty. We're rich and abundant, but in comparison, sometimes we can feel, I don't know, I'd like that more.
Especially in social media now, I was thinking about this last night, like you were literally in someone's home, like they're filming, like, oh, this is what I've done today, and then you think, oh, I wish I had, I don't know, that kind of stylish house, or I wish I had that car. But before, like, social media, you wouldn't have seen that, so you wouldn't almost have that comparison. But yeah, definitely guarding your heart from comparison is a massive thing
It's a
to
massive
do.
one.
Yeah.
And also people can sometimes think like you're coping, everything's going well, but the reality is on social media you only show what you want to show, isn't it? And like leading the church, like I remember one day it was pouring down with rain, it's lashing it down with rain. It's like, you're as far west in the United Kingdom as you can be, with and still be in the center of God's will. The next stop is America. It's you're right in the west of the United Kingdom. But I remember it's just raining so much, and you don't have money for 2 cars. 1 car, you've got to be grateful for what you got. But when you don't have 2 cars and you've got to walk and it's lashing down with rain, and it's absolutely, you're soaked and it's miserable and it's dark, and you do feel a bit, grumpy and a bit down. I met this man, and he said his mum loves the church and she was really liking it, and obviously she was going to pass away at some point, but she loved the church. She's definitely going to give a gift to the church. And I thought, oh, that's really nice to hear. Then maybe a couple of years later, she did pass away, but there was no gift. But I just remember that day. It was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice, like someone giving a gift to the church, because you're struggling to do everything in the church. It's not a gift to you, because it's a gift towards the ministry of what you do in that local area. But sometimes you need money. The reality is, you need money to put the heating on, or to buy things, or run a children's club, and it's not there, the money, and it's a struggle. But that sometimes you don't see the inside of someone's heart where they are struggling. And I think when those are in ministry, it's definitely encourage them, because you don't know what's going on in their life and how difficult it can be for them. So encourage them, even if you think they're too encourage them more, because how can someone have too much encouragement in their life? Send them a card at Christmas, send them a birthday card, send them an unexpected card. Do something special for them and drop a meal around. They might not need the meal, they can put it in the freezer, or if they've got too much food, they can give it away. But it's that sense of appreciation in their heart. They know that people are for them and people are supporting them in the ministry which they're doing, because you don't know what they're going through behind the scenes. So don't compare yourself to others in a negative way or a positive way. You might think they're doing great, but we don't know. And but we can still invest, even if they're doing great, invest in their lives, and they can always give excess away, can't they? If you give them a financial gift, they can always give more away. If you give them a material, a meal, they might say, I can give it to my neighbour. So don't feel you can overbless someone,
Yeah.
because it's definitely not. I don't think we can do that. I
I don't
know.
think that's a problem in
I
the
don't think
world.
it's a problem. And if they've got a problem, and keep it, well, it's between them and God, isn't it? But I think sowing into other people's lives, encouraging them. Mark Twain said, one word of encouragement can keep a man going for 3 months. One word of encouragement can keep a man going for 3 months. Encourage people. It doesn't have to be, the pastor of your church. If you're a person of faith and you love Jesus, maybe it's someone at work, maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's just some random person that you have a relationship with. Encourage them. Maybe you haven't seen someone for a long time. Send them a message, send them a card. But we don't know, sometimes that word of encouragement can make a big difference for someone and keep them going, keep them in the race of whatever they're doing.
I think that's what you say, like keep them in the race. It's like, I think also for people that might be on the sidelines of church and stuff, it is that thing of, assuming that, they don't need me, they have so and so helping them, or this helping them. But it's like that Bible verse, like the workers are few and the harvest is ripe. It's like you actually don't know if they need support, and you can't write yourself off thinking that they have people around you, around them, it's fine. And I think don't like going back to using your talents, it is you gotta use your talent to not feel like they've got it all, so whatever.
Just going back to the talent as well, when it's a story that Jesus used, and they call it a parable, and it sounds a fancy word for a story, but it's a story with a point. But the story is that the person had talents and didn't use the talents, and was judged more harshly. And I think that's the thing about our life. We've all got talents, and we've all got different talents, and we're not all the same. We're all unique, and it's using the talent that you have, that you've been given and entrusted with. And sometimes I think, well, people don't need my talent, but you've got that talent for a reason. And even now, you're watching this thinking, I've got that talent, but I never used that, or I haven't used it for a long time. It's came straight into your mind, that talent, that gift that you've got, and you haven't used it. Well, time to use it. Use that talent. And it doesn't have to be in a church setting. It doesn't have to be on a Sunday morning, because Jesus said to go into the world and make disciples. He didn't say come to church. He said go into the world and make disciples. And it's all about the going. It's all about the sending. Jesus sent out the 12. Jesus sent out the 2. Jesus sent out the 72. It's all sending out. And we've become so institutionalized. It's all about us. It's all about that hour, that service, that meeting.
Like sometimes I think we can become, what can church do for me? And then we're not actually taking it into like the Monday morning where it's hard, and especially like in work as well, just being that light of encouraging, because being encouraging doesn't cost you anything. And I think that is just a simple way of just being Jesus in your workplace or wherever you are during the week. On to you being like an entrepreneur. So we've moved to Pembrokeshire. You built the church, obviously with the help of God and people, and then you want to do a community cafe. But context, this is early 2000s, and we have the first internet cafe in the town with dial-up internet. Do you want to do how does it? The AOL lady?
I don't know. But it used to make a noise, didn't it, when you dialed up. It was so, it wasn't like broadband or anything like that. And obviously people didn't have smartphones, so you didn't do the internet on your phone. It was just like, old Nokia phones and play Snake on it. It was a different world then. And just realised that, well, people need access to the internet for many different things, but one of them is like looking for jobs or do your CV. So we had homework after school. So we had 3 computers, had a printer, so people could come and use it, and use it for the education and advancement of themselves. Rather than just endless scrolling on TikTok or whatever it is today. The internet was a different purpose then. It was more educational and practical. And obviously it really helped the community, and that was exciting because you have an internet cafe, but also you have the coffee and the tea and the food, and people having affordable food, then go somewhere but more than that, they have community. So you're not just feeding people or having a cup of coffee. It's actually people have connection with each other. You're building that third place where people are known, where people are loved, people are valued. People are saying, "Oh, hi, how are you? How are you? Missed you." People feel that sense. They might only see one person a day or a week, but people are remembering them all. If they just want to sit quietly, it's better than sitting at home sometimes by yourself.
And a warm place.
And a warm place, because I like warmth. I don't like being cold, but it's building that third place of community.
Thinking about all of what we've mentioned today, so being obedient even when it's hard, and even we were obedient in that community cafe with funding. I know God bless us so much with that, and I suppose what we want to talk about is keep encouraging your pastors or the ministry team or your local church community, and also when it gets tough, when we could have, I suppose, the easy way of the cushy way of doing things is to remember that God is always faithful. And do you want to add anything more to what we've been talking about, just about
Yeah, I think not comparing yourself, because we don't know what's happening in other people's lives, and obviously often we can have that comparison, and it is quite a dangerous thing, especially with social media. We think people put the holidays on, they put the meal out with their friends, and you're sitting in the house by yourself, having some cheese on toast, and someone's out at a beautiful restaurant with a group of friends, and you see all the pictures, or you see the photo dump of the month, and you think, I've done nothing this month hardly. Photo dump, and you think, oh, I wasn't invited. No, but you see everything happen in the photo dump, and you're thinking, oh, they've had a nice month. But have they got the money for it? Is it on credit cards that they're never going to pay back? Are they really happy? Is that why they're showing the photo dump to try and convince you that they're happy and everybody else that they're happy? We don't know. But what I'm saying is that it's easy to compare yourself to others, and to feel, my life's not as good as somebody else's. And I just feel we need to encourage each other, and especially we don't know what's going on, and we can never out encourage someone. We can never out, maybe give God as well, because sometimes we think, well, that person doesn't need anything, and but we don't know that, and they can always give it away. I always think that if someone's got too much, they can give it away. Giving is such a powerful thing that God has created giving, because He gave His own Son Jesus to the world. So giving is invented by God. God give us light. God give us heat. God give us animals. Why did He make so many different animals?
I sometimes wonder, why did He make flies?
Well, they have got a purpose. I can't think at the moment what they are, but all animals have a purpose.
They do.
They do. But why make 300 different British apples? Why don't I just have one apple or two apples, a red one and a green one? But God give us so much choice and give us such amazing things, so we don't get bored. There's so much to see and to enjoy. So God invented giving. God gave His Son Jesus to the world so that we can know Him. But so we can't outgive God, and giving is created by God to be deep within us, and we get joy by giving, don't we? We love it when you give a gift to someone, and I love receiving the gift. So
the PO box,
Amazon wish list is popping up on the side. No. But I love receiving the gift. But you love giving a gift, and seeing that person's joy through receiving it. It's a powerful thing that's deep within each one of us. But so we can give things, we can share things, and that's a powerful thing. And sharing what we have with others, they can always give it away to someone else. They can pass it forward. So never feel that the person might not need it.
Yeah, we're gonna say bye, and we hope you have a lovely week.
Yeah, bye.